Welcome back to Casual EDH. My name is Chris, and today we are doing mail time for the month January. So I am going to break up this particular video into 3 different sections. I'm going to start with my speculations, the things I picked up for flipping. I'm then going to move on to things I picked up for EDH decks. And then I'm just going to move on to things I picked up because I wanted to, and then I'm also going to use that section as the January update for the channel, just to try and fuse the two, because I don't think the update videos were doing particularly well. So if you do want to hear more about the channel itself, wait till that point, and also I'll have some pretty cards to show you. So let's begin. So the first card is Ancient Runes. I did speculate on a few copies of this particular card. This is an older card from Tempest. I actually saw it in a gameplay video for one of the channels I watch. I want to say it was Star City Games, but I don't remember. And I just like the effect on it. I think it's a good tax effect. I'm going to put a copy into Omnath, and when I was picking up the copy for Omnath, I thought, you know what? Maybe other people are going to be seeing this. This might be something that might see some movement, because this is a really good treasure hoser. Treasure is very popular in Commander right now, and this will basically force people to use treasure on the turn that they make it. It's not going to be something they're going to carry over between turns, because they're going to gain an upkeep of they deal 1 damage to their owner. So this is going to heavily tax a lot of decks that use artifacts and especially treasure tokens. I only picked up a few copies, just enough for my own decks if I want to add it into other ones, but I actually think that this is something that might actually see some value over time. So I decided to pick up a few copies, but not too many. I didn't want to put too much into this. I also picked up some Fauna Shamans. Brothers War just came out. Fauna Shaman was reprinted. This is Brothers War copy. This had been, quite a bit up there, but these ones I was getting for less than $1. So I picked up a few copies. These are not all the ones I picked up. I ended up picking up 10 or 15. I think I spent like $10 on all of them combined. If that, I don't quite remember. These are the ones I picked up. I actually purchased these at the end of December, and I only just got them last week, so I had hoped to talk about these earlier, and this is all I have right now. One of the packages is still missing, but basically I figure, you give them 2-3 years, they'll probably go back up to at least $4, and then that's probably when I'll flip them. If you pay less than $1 for something, resell for $4, you're still making a couple dollar profit, and making that's basically like a 300% profit, which for anything is really good. Yeah, it's only a couple bucks per card, but for what you invest into it versus what you get out of it, it's pretty good. Now we're going to go into the Dominaria Remastered ones. There's a lot of commons and uncommons that I wanted to get from this one. I kind of kept myself down to just a few. So the first one is Nature's Lord. This is a retro frame, but I also did pick up some standard frames. So I think this is all of the retro frames I picked up. I don't know, I think I got something like 10. But I got something like 25 of the normal ones. I am missing a few here. This has been a card that's been underprinted in the past. It's been printed a lot recently, so it's really inexpensive right now. It's also good for pretty much any green commander deck. So this is not something that I expect I'm going to just be stuck holding heavy bags or anything like that. And also, you just never quite know when they're just going to not print it again, right? So I figured these are pretty safe. I already had like 25 or 30 from Baldur's Gate. This is about half of my Nature's Lords. These are all the ones from Dominaria minus the package that's missing for some of these. But it's not all my Nature's Lords. I do have other ones. I also went pretty heavily into Wild Growths. Just a bunch of these here. Again, I think it was like 20 or 25. I think what happened was when I was buying these, I was trying to stay about 25 because I was buying these on release day. And it was just so hard for the vendor I was going through to be like, oh yeah, you can get all of them here. Because what I was trying to do is I was trying to get them all from a single... I was using TCG Player, and I was trying to get them all from the same vendor so that they'd all show up in the same package. They wouldn't be split between multiples. And also just to get like that free shipping and whatnot. And what happens, I would put them in the cart, get to the checkout, and be like, nope, someone else has already bought some of them here, so we can do like 10 here, 10 here. So I just got what I could, but I did try and keep myself a little bit low because of that. And honestly, it's kind of hard to be buying these now, because basically what happened is people got all the ones with the free shipping that aren't direct TCG Player, and then now if you want to get direct TCG Player with free shipping, you have to spend at least $50, which is, unless you're really buying a lot. I mean, like, I picked these up for like 10, 15, 20 cents or something, so you have to buy a lot of them. But yeah, Wild Growth is a card that has traditionally been a little bit up there. I mean, I want to say it's been, $2-3. So for it being like 20 cents, I'm like, I'll just pick up a bunch. And even if they never go up again in price at all, ever, like whatever, like it's not this is like not even $5 worth of cards here. So if I lose $5, I lose $5. That's what it is. But if they do end up going back up or even somewhat up, that's pretty good. Pretty good turnover. Foil counterspell specifically. Even when I was buying these like literally on release day, it was getting like regular ones or retro frame ones, and especially with good shipping price points and everything, was really hard. But for some reason, the foil ones people weren't really looking at quite yet when I was doing it. So I picked up a bunch of the foil ones. Counterspell is going to go into pretty much any Commander blue deck. I was able to get these for like 50 cents or something. A normal counterspell has historically been about $2. I don't know what the foil ones have been going for. I didn't really check that because I hadn't intended to buy foil at the time. But I figure, if the normal ones are $2, even if these are just go up to $2, I'm still going to be making like a 200%, 250% profit, which is really good. But I expect that if I wait long enough, these might go up more. Again, it depends on whether they reprint them. But again, this is also isn't breaking the bank. Like there's no amount here that's breaking the bank. And even if I just end up having to trade them locally for $1, like for dollar cards, then whatever. Because if I can even if I can't get the money out of these, if I can get the trade value out of these, I can just trade for things to resell later. So that's fine. But all those felt really safe. The thing with these reprint sets, and I'll just kind of reshow them all again here. The thing about the reprint sets is they tend to be really safe. Like you can kind of see which ones are safe to invest in because you have a prior price history for them. So you can see where they average out. You can see what older versions of them are still going for. If you see a new copy of a card go for 10 cents, but you see that an old copy of the card has historically stayed about, even like with the reprint, is still like $2, then that's a pretty safe buy, because either that one's got to come down more, the old one's got to come down more, or the new one's got to go up. And the new one's always going to go up. During like the release weekend, there's so many packs being cracked that people are just fire selling things to get rid of them because they need to get money for the next product. So it's a safer bet that the new ones are going to go up and the older ones are going to stay down. So I like to use those ones as the price points for whether I should be picking up something or not. Again, that's just the way I do it. I'm not a financial advisor, legal stuff. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just how I do it. I also picked up a bunch of the check lands. I picked up 3 foil woodland cemeteries. These are going to be for my decks, but there's still speculation because if they go up high enough, I'll just sell them, whatever. But for the time being, they're going to go into my decks. I play a lot of black-green, so I wanted them. I also picked up a couple of non-foil ones. Those ones I'm not going to play. And then for the rest of them, I pretty much just got 4 of each. Some of them might go into decks, but a lot of them are just going to sit around. And again, it's just because these check lands, I got these ones, the non-foil ones, for like 50 cents, which again, it's like, you take a look at their historical price, it's like, really? The Clifftop Retreats were a little bit more expensive. They were like $1, $1.10 when I got them. Again, it took so long for these to get to me in the mail, though. I don't know what they're going for now. But, I mean, if you take a look at their historical pricing, that's ridiculous. Alright, so we're going to go to part 2, and this is where I'm going to talk about ones from my decks. So I'm just going to start with like kind of the randomized ones. I picked up a Mind Slicer here. This was specifically for my Henzi deck. If I want to become more of a jerk, I'll play that in there. Natural Order. I'm not sure deck specifically I'm going to put in. I have a couple potential options, but I just thought that it wasn't that expensive. It's still down from its Strixhaven reprinting. I do have the Strixhaven art one, but I wanted to get one from the Visions art, so I just picked up because I noticed it still wasn't too bad. Dread Cacodemon, that is going to be going into Henzi as well. There's a very good chance Natural Order is going to go into Henzi. Dread Cacodemon is going to go into Henzi. Last Chance is going to go into Henzi. Eventually I'm going to do my Henzi deck tech, and you're going to see that I keep Sundial the Infinite in there. So I do keep taking extra turn spells in there right now. Warrior's Oath, because it was reprinted reprinted in Double Masters 2022, and now it's going to have Last Chance. Urza's Incubator, I have an Ur-Dragon deck, so I'm probably just going to put that in there. I did not get the Ur-Dragon Precon, so I did not get the Urza's Incubator from the Precon. I've been shying away from it because of its price. But I was able to get this for like 20 bucks, so I'm like, sure, whatever. Bird's Paradise, I just want a retro frame, which is funny because then I opened up boxes and got a foil one. Spoiler if you haven't seen those videos. If you haven't seen those videos, go back and you can see me open up a foil one. Sylvan Library, retro frame, got it for 20 bucks on release day. Those have already gone back up in price. You can never have too many Sylvan Libraries, at least not when you have as many decks as I have. Entomb. This is going to go into my Nethroi deck. Frantic Search, I wanted a foil one. I got a retro foil one from Dominaria Remastered. It's going to go into my Pure and Toothy deck. That's just a deck I foil out. That's like my super high end. I put a lot of expensive cards in there and I try and make them as shiny as possible, so that just makes it shinier. And Glissa Sunseeker. I didn't realize that she was a secret lair card because it's hard to keep up on all the secret lairs. And basically, she's just going to go into my elf deck. A 3/2 first strike isn't bad. I generate a lot of mana there, so she just gives me artifact destruction that's recurral. I actually forgot she existed until I was just kind of cruising around one day and saw that she did in fact still exist and she was in a secret lair, so I just picked it up. But immediately I had a home for it, so that was nice. Red Sun, Zenith, and Subterranean Tremors. I am still making a Magus Lucia Kane deck. I just picked these up because I want them for the deck. I have not actually gotten around to building the whole thing yet. I know there's going to be other X spells I need for it, but I was thinking about these when I was making the other purchases, so I just threw them in. And then this last set are going to be kind of the weird ones. So the most normal of them is probably Mana Barbs. I'm going to put this into the Omnath deck as part of the taxing effect of the deck, or at least I'm going to try it. And then I also picked up Glare Wielder, Ingot Chewer, Walker of the Grove, and Cloud Thresher. And these are all, other than Cloud Thresher, these three are foil. And then I picked them up because they're all elementals that have Evoke, which means I'm thinking putting them into the Omnath deck as well. That way they can come in, do their effect, and then also immediately leave play and trigger Omnath, the Omnath Locus of Rage. I don't know if they're actually going to make the cut, but when you're looking at 10, 15-cent cards, it's better just to pick them up when you're already doing an order than have to go back later and then pay the shipping for them, even if you don't use them. Also, these two at least are the original printing foils, and you never know when something's going to cause something like this to spike. Lorwyn and Morningtide foils are rare. Regardless of what the rarity of the card is, they're rare. So if you can get them for cheap, you just don't know. You don't know when they're going to go up in price because there's a very good chance they might. If someone plays a broken enough elemental deck, you might see these just spike. So even if I don't end up using them, it's good to have them. And then the final section is just cards I picked up because I just wanted them. I don't necessarily have a use for them right now. I just wanted to make sure I had them. And I'll also just talk about some updates I'm going to talk about basically the state of the channel here. So basically, right now the state of the channel is doing pretty good. For a channel that is as young as mine is, I'm actually getting more views than I was expecting, which is nice. The shorts are doing very well. The long form videos like this one that you're watching actually could be doing a little bit better, but I'm not upset or anything like that. It just means I need to figure out what I can do better and then do better. As far as this goes, I'm going to change how I do like pack openings, because I like to talk about the cards, but it makes some of the pack openings too long, and people just don't want to watch the really long ones. So you've probably already seen that I'm starting to do some shorts that are like super short, like I open up a booster pack, pick a card out of it, talk about it. That's one of the things that that's a foil one, by the way. Sorry, I'm trying to work on the lighting in here. That was one of the recommendations, so I'll talk about that. I'll just interrupt my thoughts and start on that. So I'm trying to get the lighting fixed to make it a little bit better, but it's a process. But back to what I was saying though. So I'm doing those shorts to still get talk about the booster packs, get to talk about the card. It forces me to be a little bit quicker, and hopefully that is also foil. Something that people like. It also lets me talk about more random cards. I'm still going to do the shorts where I talk about specific cards. But you know, it's nice to be able to open up booster packs. It's pretty easy content for the channel. Once I get the lighting here figured out, it should be a lot better. But yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, we're sitting in a good place. I'm not too upset. I do have some changes I need to make. If you have any recommendations of changes I can make to make your viewing experience better, or things that you want to see on the channel, definitely let me know in at least one video somewhere. I can't make changes if I don't know if people want them. So definitely feel free to contact me. But yeah, that said, by the way, these Wrath of Gods here, these full art foil ones, super nice. But anyway, that said, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If you're watching, thank you so much. I am going to immediately record some additional content. I have a really fun one talking about a deck that you might not all be expecting. Hopefully that should be up very soon after this video. But that said, y'all have a good one.